I'm Casey aka Queso and welcome to this week's Advice on Wednesday video. So thanks so much for joining me, I really appreciate it. If you enjoy this video then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and let's get into it. I'm lucky enough at the moment that I am happy in myself in general. Obviously sometimes I'll have down days, you know, we all do, or things will upset me or get to me or whatever. That's absolutely normal. But what this video is about is developing yourself and your confidence so that you are proud of who you are and that you're just happy with who you are, because that I think is so important. And like nowadays, because of social media and things, we're always looking at other people, we're always comparing ourselves to other people, judging ourselves in terms of other people's expectations and things that we see online. Whereas I find it's all about judging yourself from your own point of view and perspective and living up to your own expectations, not the expectations of others. This links in nicely to what I was just saying, and it's very important. Don't care what other people think about you, okay? People might say, oh yeah, but you need to fit in, or you know, you want people to like you and things. I think that is what really can make people unhappy, is if they think other people are saying, oh they're weird, or they don't look nice, or oh they didn't do well in this, or they're not good at that, or whatever, and you listen to what other people are saying to you, then that's putting you down. But at the end of the day, nobody knows you like you do, so don't listen. I know it's really difficult and it's easy for me to say, but it's something that I've always lived by, is not worrying at all what people think. You know, like the Taylor Swift song, just ignore the haters. The haters are going to hate anyway, and that's their way of feeling better about themselves, which I would not say to do. Don't hate on other people. If you then evaluated yourself, if you were hating on people, you actually wouldn't like yourself very much, and that would then make you feel unhappy in the end anyway. So yeah, this is again an extension from what I've just said, and that is to be your one and only critic. No matter what anyone else says to you, if they say you're not good at this, or you're not good at that, or you're not funny, or you're not nice, or you don't try enough, or you're not motivated, or whatever it is that they might tell you, or you might think that they're thinking, then just put all of that to one side, because I found what's most important with being happy is looking and reflecting on myself and getting myself to a point where I'm happy and proud of who I am. Where if I met myself as another person, yeah, I might think I was a little bit weird or annoying, but on the whole I would think, oh, she's a nice person, you know, she's a decent, caring, kind person. And I wouldn't think really negatively of myself, and that's what makes me happy, is having that faith and confidence in myself that I am a good person. And I think if you ever doubt yourself or anything like that, you do need to look at why you're feeling those emotions about yourself. Are you maybe not being very nice to someone? Are you not trying your hardest? You know, things like that, because once you're happy with yourself, then everyone else will see you as a happy person as well. You'll come across more positive and happier to others because you're confident in who you are. So I think it's really important to work out who you are and what you want in life. Not what other people want for you, not what other people expect you to do or who they expect you to be. You need to have a long, hard sit down with yourself, and you need to think about what you do want out of life. We only know that we get one life, you know, for certain anyway. So what do you want to do with that life? What is going to make you happy? And what kind of person do you want to be? What kind of person even are you already? Some people just don't reflect on themselves and they don't even realise, you know, if they are turning, say, in school, say, if they're turning into a bit of a bully or a not nice person, they might not even notice until, you know, they've gone too far with it and they've really become a person they're not happy with. And then, you know, that makes people unhappy with themselves and just have a lot of low self-esteem and maybe guilt and regret and things. You don't want any of that. You need to sit down and you need to decide what it is you want and who you want to be. How do you want to come across to people? And whoever you decide to be, unless it's like a serial killer, then you're mostly going to be good. That's fine. You should be who you are. You should embrace who you are. Like, I know, as I've just said before, that I might sometimes come off as a bit weird or sort of quirky, a bit different to people. But I've evaluated that myself and I've decided that I'm okay with it because it's who I am, and I don't mind if people think that, you know. I embrace my differences and it's a part of myself that I like. I like that, you know, I'm not always sticking to the main things and that I go against the grain confidently. So if you are a bit different, then don't worry about it, you know, so long as you're happy with that. But also, don't ever change who you are just to impress or make other people happy. So if you are different but you are worried that other people would judge you for it, and then you change who you are, that feeling of happiness is only going to be short-lived, because they might not be your friend your whole life. There's obviously other people in your life who will have influence on you, who you'll spend time with and who you care about. These people that are making you feel you need to change, they're not the be-all and end-all, and if you change for them, you're going to come to regret it later on and you're going to feel unhappy. So don't do it. So yeah, these are all just blurring, but be confident and be yourself. So you're only going to feel confident if you are being yourself. I think people can lie or convince themselves that they are really confident even if they're not being themselves. But unless you're an actor, and even then, nobody can act or pretend all the time. You are only going to feel confident if you're being yourself, because that's the person that you know yourself, and trying to be someone else who isn't you, you're not going to feel confident because you don't know that person, because they're not who you truly are. So just be yourself. That is the whole purpose of this video, okay? Don't let the haters hate, and be yourself, girl or guy, anyone, just be yourself. Okay, I will go into something slightly different now after talking about the same thing basically for a very long time. And this is something I find so important, and that is to trust your instinct. So there's been quite a few decisions in my life already that I've made that have been quite big or life-changing decisions. Mostly they've been to do with education, but there's also been other things, and even to do with, you know, friendships and relationships and things like that. These are all decisions where you need to trust your own instinct, follow your gut feeling, because other people might say, oh, I don't think you should do this, or this might be really difficult, or will you actually be happy, and they might try and put you off. It might be your parents even, and of course they most likely just want the best for you. They're your parents and they do know you very well. But don't let them put you off from doing what you think is right, or from doing what you think is going to make you happy. If it's your friends, or if it's your boyfriend, girlfriend, if they're trying to put you off from doing something that you want to do, then maybe they're not the right partner, or they're not the right friendship group. Because, you know, if you think it's the right thing to do, you need to do it, and you can't let other people hold you back, because at the end of the day, if you decide to not do something that you want to, it's not affecting their life, is it? But it's holding you back, and it's stopping you from doing what you wanted, and then you're just going to come to regret it later on. So yeah, follow your instinct, follow your gut, or even like if you're in a situation and someone's saying things that aren't very nice about someone else, and you know in your gut that it's not nice what they're saying, don't join in with them. Don't agree and say, yeah, like, oh yeah, he is really annoying, or he is this or that or her. You've got to try and stand up for what you believe in and say that, you know, no, this isn't right, this isn't okay, I don't agree, or I don't want to do that, or I don't want to say this to that person. So again, this is like an extension of the last one, which is grab opportunities with both hands. Yes, some things in life might be really scary, and some people I think struggle a lot with uncertainty. So if they have an opportunity, but the outcome of it is uncertain. They don't know for certain if it's going to go really well as they hope, or there might be difficulties along the way. I think for the majority of the time, if it still piqued your interest, you should go with it and give it a go, because even if it doesn't go as well as you thought, you're still going to learn from it, you're still going to have gained from it. You're not going to always be wondering, oh, but what if I had done this or that, because you've tried it and you know. And mostly from opportunities, if they're positive opportunities, the most likely outcome is going to be that it goes well, you have a good time. We don't know how long life is, so just grab it with both hands. This also leads me on to the importance, I feel, of setting goals. Even though I'm in isolation, I've been setting myself goals of things that I want to do. But there's a difference, because I feel like a lot of people on social media, YouTube videos and things, it's almost this kind of like forcing, like, you have to do this, you have to do that, like set a strict schedule, and if you don't stick to it, feel guilty about it because you made that schedule and you got to stick to it. No. That's not what I mean at all. I look at things that I enjoy doing and that I want to do, and I set them as goals to do, because sometimes if you don't actually think, yes, I'm going to do it, and sort of give yourself that push to do it, you might not do it. For example, writing my short story that I've been doing lately, if I didn't give myself that little push to keep going with it, I might just sit on my phone scrolling for hours, or rewatching a TV series I've watched 5 times and actually be quite bored while I'm doing it, but it's just easier than getting my laptop out and using my brain a bit. But in the end, I'm going to regret that I didn't do the other things. And that's obviously on a small scale, but on a larger scale, set goals. The main thing is not to feel guilty if you don't achieve the goal, but is to have it there so that hopefully when you do and you've motivated yourself to achieve it, you're going to feel proud of yourself and you're going to feel happy. Obviously, if you're feeling sad and you're feeling down, it can be really hard to be motivated. So I feel like some of the previous steps are most important if you're feeling down right now. But as you build your confidence and your happiness up, being motivated and setting goals and reaching them, that is another way to keep feeling happy and keep feeling good about yourself and positive about everything around you. Everybody's got problems and everyone's got issues, okay, in their life. Nobody's life's perfect. Nobody's got everything figured out and everything going really, really well. And even if your problem or issue might seem small in comparison to someone else's, don't feel guilty if it does get you down, because everyone's problems and issues are relative to themselves. You know, you can be sympathetic or empathetic and helpful to others who are dealing with problems that you might say in a wider picture is more than your own. But if something's really getting to you and something's really upsetting you, then that's okay. But I think it's just really important that we're as grateful as we can be for everything we do have, especially I'm talking from a Western country and culture perspective. We now have so much, we have so much technology, we have so much freedom, there's hobbies, there's so many things we can do and we're allowed to do. We're not massively oppressed, we're not stopped from doing the things we want. And most people, luckily, have a roof over their head and things in their house that they like. You know, some people have more than others, but luckily most of us do have a decent quality of living. So for us people who are lucky enough to have a roof over our head, or any family member in our life who cares for us, or any friend in our life who cares for us, that is stuff to be grateful for. That is enough to be grateful for. And I think in a way we're so privileged in so many ways as a whole, and we don't really feel grateful or happy or lucky that we have the things we have. We expect it, and if we have anything less than that, we're not going to be happy, we're going to be miserable, or you know. But when you strip everything away, when you strip all the technology away and gadgets and whatever, The most important thing is the relationships that you have with other people, and material things don't really matter that much. So be grateful for the material things you've got, but appreciate and be grateful mostly for those relationships you have and for those basic things that you have, like, oh, I have a shower I can wash, I have a comfy bed I can sleep in, I have a roof over my head so I'm not out in the rain. You know, these are things that in a lot of countries, and for some people in, for example, the UK, they don't have, and they'd give anything for anything that most of us have. So just really try and appreciate what you've got, and it will just make you happier. Even if you've got a big deadline with uni or a work deadline, or you're having an argument with a friend, or you're breaking up with a boyfriend or girlfriend, it's awful and it's stressful and it's upsetting, and I'm not belittling any of that or saying you shouldn't be stressed or upset. But just try and remember the other things you've got in your life that are good and are positive, because that's what's going to bring you out of hardship and bring you out of stress, is to appreciate what you've got. So it's just so important, have as much fun as you can. I'm 22 now, I feel so old, but yeah, I am such a big kid. I think there's always this stereotype that girls grow up and, oh, men and lads, oh, they're always like children, oh, it's my fourth child, my husband or my boyfriend or whatever. Obviously that's fine if that is the case, but I feel like, especially for girls, you don't have to fulfill this expectation to be really overly mature and serious and things, you know. I am silly all the time, I give everyone a million nicknames, you know, I just mess around. I'm mature when I need to be. I've gained a lot of experience through living away in uni, through experiences with my family and things like that, that have made me more mature and made me deal better with things that we all have to deal with in real life as we get older. That doesn't mean that we can't pay bills and have deadlines and responsibilities but still be fun and have fun. We can't still go and do fun activities, silly activities, or be a bit of a kid if we want to, you know what I mean? Don't feel like you've got to be really serious, or, oh my god, I'm this old now, I need to act this certain way, or, oh, I'm this old, I need to act this certain way, or whatever. Just relax, just take a chill pill, sit back, try not to overthink, which is something that I am really bad for, I will admit, but just chill, just mess around, have a laugh with people. That's what life's all about, really, isn't it? Because as much of you might be meeting these deadlines and paying these bills, yes, they're important in your life, but living isn't about any of that. Living is about having fun and making memories and having those moments with people and doing things that you'll never forget, you know. That's what life's all about. So just don't forget about that. As old as you get, or as stressful as life gets, don't forget about that, because doing fun things and exciting things is what's going to make you feel happy, even if you have a stressful life. And then obviously in the short term, if you're feeling really, really sad right now, it's extremely important that you talk to people. I know it can be really hard and you might worry that you're going to be judged. And I think often people get really sad because they have so many things going on at once, and they think, God, all those other people, they're so happy and they're so self-assured and they're doing so well in life. And that makes them feel worse about themselves. But if you actually talk to your friends or family about the things you're going through, they'd probably say, oh, well, you know what, I've had a really rubbish week, or I've got this going on, or I'm struggling to do this, or haven't done well in that. And you'd realise that actually everyone's in the same boat, really, and nobody's perfect and no one has the perfect life, and people are understanding and sympathetic. It might be that you talk to them about things you're upset or worried about, and they think, oh, thank God, because I really wanted someone to talk about and they couldn't take that step, you know. And it's the whole point of friends and family is to be your support and be there for you, and you can build your relationship more if you open up to people as well. Just try and talk to someone, because when you overthink things and you build problems up in your head, they just get worse and worse and worse and worse and just get really, really big. But if you talk to someone else, they can actually put things in perspective for you usually. They can sympathise, they can give advice, you know, and just be there for you. So let people be there for you, because I'm sure they want to be. They just might not know that you need them. Another crucial thing, and this is in my opinion, is sleep. So I am an absolute demon if I don't have a lot of sleep. That was something I've really struggled with on placement with the nursing, is because if I don't sleep very well, I really struggle with the whole shift. I feel awful, like I feel unwell really, and I find I get more emotional and upset by things. I get stressed easier and things like that. I'm more sluggish to react, and I feel like I'm not doing my best because of it. And also I find in general, just whenever I'm tired, all of my problems just seem 10 times worse. And then it's always the way that I'll go to sleep, and the next morning I get up and I'm like, oh my god, like they weren't anywhere near as bad as I thought. Like, wow. So it really gives you perspective as well, I think, a good night's sleep, and really helps for your mental well-being and to feel happy. And if you are really down or really in a position where you're struggling right now, I think the most important thing, which is what my mum has always taught me and I've always remembered, is no matter what happens in your life, even if something happens and it seems like the worst thing in the world and you're having the absolute most horrible day you've ever had, just remember that tomorrow is a new day. You won't live this day forever. There'll be a new day. So don't ever make rash decisions or, you know, do things that you'd probably regret or anything like that, because tomorrow is going to be a new day. You can start again. You can look at things afresh. And, you know, nothing is ever too big to be sorted. My mum's always said, whatever problem I have, no matter how big or how scary it seems, it's never going to be something that we can't work through together and sort. So just never forget that, okay? Because even if you are really struggling, things can get better, and they will get better. Once you've hit your lowest point, there's only up from there, isn't there? So just try and stay positive as best you can. It's really difficult in this day and age, as I say. I mean, I sound like I'm a grandma myself. I've only lived 22 years, but this is just my opinions and thoughts. You know, we're all trying to do our best at this thing that everyone calls life and living. So just try and be happy and be yourself and be confident. And yeah, I just hope that this advice has been helpful and that I haven't just waffled on or said cliche things, because this is honestly what I think and how I feel. So I hope it hasn't come across as cliche or anything like that. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you for next Wednesday's advice video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!